George Soros has funded an app to help illegal immigrants avoid federal immigration authorities. The group is called United We Dream, founded by an organization receiving more than $200,000 as well in federal grant money. Your taxpayer dollars at work. Joining us now, Chris Farrell, Director of Investigations Research for Judicial Watch, which brought the story to light. That's outrageous. Soros getting involved, federal money being used for it. What's happening as a result? Is there somebody being prosecuted?
It's also a crime. 8 U.S.C. Section 1327, which is aiding and abetting the unlawful entry of persons into the United States. This app is pretty outrageous. Not only does it allow the unlawful illegal alien to have all the magic language they need to plead their case, but it provides notice to their friends and family. It alerts their attorney. It's a full service.
Got it.
Chris,
why isn't somebody being prosecuted?
Well, it's a good question. Why are they getting another dime of your taxpayer money?
So the Trump Justice Department is acting a lot like the Obama Justice Department. They're monitoring. They're not actually doing much. We also know that illegal immigration in the last month has gone up. It's almost tripled on the southern border.
And when the Justice Department chooses to, they do go after people on the internet who are engaged in all sorts of illegal activity, whether it's, Silk Road or any other, for people purveyors of internet stuff, whether it's pornography or anything else. When they want to go after them, they do. And here's a prime example of somebody abusing the system and taking taxpayer dollars. They choose not to. Why?
Yeah, well, I guess the reason is they can't get a conviction. They've lost. I mean, to find out that the FBI's conviction rate has dropped by 11% in 5 years, why in the world would the president not fire James Comey? He should have been fired.
Yeah, well, the Mueller-Comey legacy has been the slow-motion destruction of the FBI, and I've advocated that the whole operation be shut down and be moved over to the Marshal Service.
Yeah, and by the way, we're headed in a direction where I don't know that the FBI can be saved. I'm starting to think that you may have the only solution that's been proffered that would, in fact, be a real solution and get rid of these folks. But even now, we know who the criminals are. They're sitting there. Most of them have been demoted. They've been fired. They've been reassigned. They should be in jail, for crying out loud.
And look, Mueller has yet to articulate the criminal predicate for his investigation. No one can tell you what crime's been committed. I can tell you what crime has been committed with respect to some of the actions and activities of people in Mueller's staff, at the FBI. It's 18 U.S.C. Section 242, which is deprivation of rights under color of law. That is an abuse of power statute. And when you look at the activities of Strzok and Page and McCabe, I mean, the whole litany of names, they've abused their offices.
The American people rightly have a small amount of patience with a government that doesn't respond, doesn't react, and carry out consequences. You know that everyone watching this broadcast tonight who is in the middle class, who is working, who has a family, if they pulled half of the nonsense, that any one of these people, they would be prosecuted with zeal.
Absolutely.
And this is hollowing out this country. We can tell in the pits of our stomach that we as a nation right now, our founding values, I mean, we've had our throats cut, and we have got to do something about it.
The double standard and the disparity of treatment, not just at the political level, where there's this outrageous assault on the president and his associates, but the selective prosecution of people with respect to things like security clearances and mishandling of classified information. They see it. They know it.
So let's talk about solutions here tonight. Why not have the president's legal team? It's terrific. You've got Rudy Giuliani. You couldn't have a better public advocate.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, there's something wrong when you're not attacking the special counsel and that corrupt staff of left-wing ideologues and activists that he's assembled and calls it a special counsel team. Why not go after them?
Yeah, I mean, arguably criminal complaints could be filed seeking remedies because of the outrageous abuse, this abuse of authority and conduct, the abuse of office. this deal about raiding Cohen's office. Today we heard about the pen register being run on his phone and his communications with the White House. All this stuff is an abuse of office and should all be pursued.
I still can't get over Paul Manafort's wife being frisked and at gunpoint as agents.
A pre-dawn raid.
Yeah,
that's the stuff that narco terrorists are involved in. Look, there are any number of remedies, whether it's administrative. For example, the president could and should fire every single political appointee who's an Obama holdover. They should not be in office.
Yep.
That's number one. Clean house that way.
Chris,
there are other remedies.
We got 10 seconds and appreciate you giving us that one. Chris Farrell, Judicial Watch, as always. Thanks.